Welcome back to the Chelsweets kitchen. So to celebrate hitting 25K, and just because I frequently get asked the same questions, I wanted to do a Q&A for you guys. So this is a little different than my normal video, but I'm going to run through the questions that I get asked the most. So question number one, how do you get your frosting so smooth and so white? So I actually just shared a really great tutorial, and I believe it's titled How to Get Smooth Buttercream. And it really has to do with how you make the buttercream. I use a paddle attachment, and the paddle attachment is key because it helps you not get too much air into it as you make it. I also use the Whole Foods brand of unsalted butter, which is a really light pale yellow, and that helps keep my buttercream really nice and light and makes it a great base for coloring with gel food coloring. Another question is, what brand of cake pans do I use? So I use Fat Daddy-O's, which I get on Amazon. I use most frequently my 6-inch, 7-inch, and 8-inch pans. But there's a ton of great brands out there. I think it really just comes down to having the right size for what you need. Another question is about my knife. So here is my knife that I use all the time. It is Pure Komachi 2. It's a high carbon stainless steel blade, and it's super long, and I need this big of a knife to go cut into my really tall cakes. So if you're looking for a fun, colorful knife, this brand has a bunch of different colors online. Do I accept cake orders? And the answer is no. So I have in the past, but this year I'm really focusing on content creation and some partnerships that I have. So I am not accepting cake orders. Another question is, do I ship? So if I accepted cake orders, which I don't, I also never shipped cakes just because the designs of my cakes are pretty complex and I really don't see a way to ship them safely anywhere. So I've never shipped a cake before. What do I do with all of my cakes? So I get asked this literally every post I make, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, I'm constantly asked that. And I have a full-time day job in finance, and I bring my cakes into work. So once I've sliced into them, I slice them up and put them into a Tupperware container, and I then bring that in for all of my coworkers. I never waste cake. I hate throwing cake away, so I always do my best to make sure that it's enjoyed by someone. Do I eat all the cakes that I make? I always try to have at least one bite, especially when I'm trying out a new flavor combination. And it's just to make sure that I'm consistently making great cakes. But I don't eat the massive slices that I cut. I would get so sick if I ate like a quarter of a cake every day. What type of frosting do you use and prefer, and why? So I use an American buttercream, which doesn't have any egg whites in it. And I prefer that just because it's easiest to make. It also is sweet. I just prefer the way that it tastes, and I also like working with it a lot. But Swiss meringue buttercream is also great to work with and is really great for smoothing. So if you find American buttercream too sweet, I recommend trying that. Did you go to culinary school? So I have no formal training. I just started baking when I moved to New York about 4 years ago. I just went a little bit overboard with my hobby, and through practice I've kind of gotten where I am today. The more that you bake, the better you will get, and you just have to be adventurous and push yourself to try new techniques. What do you use to color your cakes and frostings? So I always use Americolor gel food coloring. I think it's the best. I love it. It comes in so many amazing shades. I'm not sponsored by them. I wish I was, because I use them all the time. But I just have found that it really creates the most vibrant shades. Another question is, how do I keep my cake rounds from sliding on my cake stand when I'm frosting? So I'll show you guys. Underneath my cake rounds, I have a non-slip mat, which I've cut into a circle, and it actually came with my cake stand, which is an Ateco 612, and so it actually went all the way out to the edge. But sometimes when I'm frosting or adding drizzles, things will kind of overflow off of my cake round, so I trimmed it so that way it doesn't get dirty when I'm decorating. And the last question is, what do you do? So I work at L'Oreal in finance. Like I said, I've been there for about 2.5 years, and I just started a new position a few months ago. And I really love it, and it is difficult to balance a day job and baking this much, but I really enjoy finance, and that's why I still have my day job. And I also think that sometimes if you make your hobby your full-time job, you can lose your passion. So I'm really happy right now just doing both. So that is my life in a nutshell. I hope I've answered all of your guys' questions. If you have any additional questions, definitely leave them in the comment section below. And if you'd like to see any other tutorials, I'd love to hear what you guys want to see. So thanks so much for stopping by today. Hopefully I'll see you guys again soon.